In this video, I'll be doing an analysis of Microsoft stock that has just created a new record high. We could see another 2,200% long-term rally like we saw between 2009 and 2021. Plus, I'll also cover Apple stock, which is up 8% for November. But before we get into these two stocks, let's first look at the S&P 500 to get an overall view of the market. So we have the three screens set up here. The top left-hand chart is the monthly time frame, and we have major levels of support and resistance displayed on the chart with these horizontal lines. And the top left-hand chart is the weekly time frame. Here we can see different trend filter colors. So green bars when the market is bullish, red bars when the market is bearish, and grey bars when the market pulls back or forms areas of consolidation. We also have the 50 simple moving average, the orange line, and the 200 simple moving average, the black line. And the bottom chart is the daily time frame. Similar to the weekly, we have green, grey, and red candles, and we also have the moving averages, but an additional one here, the 20 simple moving average, which is the blue line. So let's first look at the monthly time frame for the S&P. So we're in interesting times here. The S&P is in a long-term bullish trend, but did encounter some turbulence once it got to this high in January 2022. Price reached this level of $4,818, and then we saw a decline all the way through to October 2022. So historically, we see the formation of trends around October, and you can see from October 2022, price started to move back to the upside up until July, when the market pulled back through to October 2023. So if we look at October 2022, we had a nice push to the upside, and the same thing seems to be happening here for October 2023. Our low was formed here, and now we're starting to see the resumption of the longer term bullish trend. We want to see this bullish momentum take price up above the all-time high. If it does break above this level, then we're likely to see a continuation of this, if I just zoom out, of this longer term bullish rally. So we're just anticipating a breakout here, but right now, as the market is bullish, we're still seeing stocks pushing forward and creating new record highs. So let's move over to the weekly time frame. The bars are currently grey. If it continues to rise, we should see green bars once again, indicating bullishness in the S&P 500. The first level of resistance before the all-time high up here would be the high of July at $4,607. If price can break above this level, then we're likely to see a push towards the all-time high, and we want to see a breakout of this level as well. If you look at the longer term chart, we can see how the 200 simple moving average has acted as support a number of times here. So we can see here that during this period, December 2018, price did dip below this level around 2020, but this is due to the COVID pandemic. So there was a lot of volatility in the market around that time, but we saw a sharp reversal back above the 200. And if I just zoom in a little closer, we had a bounce off the 200 simple moving average in October 2022, but we haven't yet seen price make contact with this level. So we're likely to just see a continuation to the upside. The 50 simple moving average appears to have taken over as support. So as long as this continues to be the case, we should see a bull rally unfold here. So let's move down to the daily time frame now. The daily time frame is still in a wide area of consolidation. We can see a messy looking chart here, but as we saw with the monthly and the weekly, once we took a glance at the bigger picture, price is still resuming the long-term bull trend. So if we look at the daily here, we just need to see price continue to rise and form a pattern of higher highs and higher lows, and we want to see that momentum take price above this July high, which I mentioned on the weekly time frame. And if I just zoom out, and then above the all-time high up here. But the important thing is that price is above all three moving averages and is looking strong right now. So let's go to the first stock on the list, which is Microsoft, which is creating new record highs. So Microsoft, if you look at the history of this stock, it does look, it's a really strong trending stock to investing. We saw this rally from, if we look all the way back in 2009, all the way through to 2021. There were some areas of consolidation along the way up and some deep declines, but price overall was headed to the upside. This is the largest correction we've seen in the stock's history for some time. So once it got to this high in November 2021, price declined. And if I measure how deep this decline was, it was around 38%. So a 38% decline, which is quite deep. Price eventually found support, then started to move back to the upside. And if I measure from this low, price has now moved up 72%, which is a strong recovery. Price recovered, didn't quite break out of consolidation, of this area of consolidation on the first attempt. We had this failed attempt in June, another failed attempt in July, but this did actually move higher, but then was unable to close above this level. But as you can see, November has seen price push above this level. So we want to see if by the end of the month, price can actually close above this major level of resistance, which is now support. If it is able to achieve this, then we should see another long-term rally similar to what we have seen in the past for Microsoft. So definitely a stock to keep on the watch list. On the weekly time frame, the bars, current candles are green, indicating bullishness, and prices above the 50 and the 200 simple moving averages, which is a strong sign of strength and a potential continuation to the upside. And if we go down to the daily time frame, the current candles are green, price is above the 20, 50 and 200 simple moving averages and moving along nicely. So as long as we continue to see this pattern of higher lows and higher highs, we're likely to see a long-term bull trend unfold for Microsoft. So let's go down to the last stock now, which is Apple. Apple's lagging slightly behind because it isn't creating new record highs at the moment, but it is looking strong. So if we look at the monthly time frame first, the longer term trend for Apple is bullish, but this does appear to have experienced a more bumpier ride than we saw with Microsoft. We can see really long periods of consolidation along the way up, but historically, this stock does trend up over the long term. If I look at current price action, if you look at this green line, this is the high for last year, so the high of 2022, which is at $183. Price dipped below this level in September, and we can see in October, price tried to break above this level, this resistance level at the time, failed, but November has now broken above this level. So this level is now support because price is above this level, and we want to see this momentum, this current momentum, continue to take price further above this level and towards the all-time high for July at $198. Note that the all-time high is just below the $200 round number. So this is a psychological level of resistance. We need price to also break above this level to confirm a bull trend continuation. On the weekly time frame, the bars are currently grey. If it continues to rise, then we should see the bars turn green again, and price is also above the 50 and the 200 simple moving averages. So recently, price pulled back, and you can see towards the end of October came down and bounced off the 50 simple moving average. And following this bounce, the momentum has picked up and pushing price further to the upside. We're just waiting for that breakout above the all-time high and the $200 round number. Going down to the daily time frame, the bars are now green. Price is above the 20, 50 and the 200 simple moving averages. If we look at the bars around towards the end of October, it did dip below the 200 simple moving average, but only for a few days before we saw the buyers push price back above all three moving averages. We now want to see a clean pattern of higher highs and higher lows as the momentum takes price towards this zonal area of resistance. So once we have a breakout of the $200 rounds number, we want to see a move to the upside, a pullback, and then a second breakout above a previous high, which will confirm a bullish trend continuation. Hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And as our videos are all time sensitive, hit that notification icon so that you can catch all of our videos as soon as they become available on the channel. Look forward to see you all on the next video analysis.